cracking seals and taking dabs. Welcome back to Crack That Seal. Welcome back, gang. Hopefully you just watched the Kush and Gas top 10 list. We are now moving on. We are gonna take another dab with you because that's what we do, and we're celebrating. We're celebrating. If you didn't know, we smoke so much hash every year, we feel like we have to give out awards and top 10 lists. And we smoke so much that we have made 2 different lists to end the year. Of course, we just went over the Gas and Kush 2025 top 10 list. We are now going to get into the everything else or other stuff top 10 list. Like we did in the last video, we are gonna go back because 2024, our page got taken down and people didn't get enough time to shine. So our 2024 top 3 everything else. The number 1 was the highly raved about Rainbow Slushy from Turk Style out of Michigan. That jar blew us away. Definitely one of the best jars we've had to this date, and we've smoked multiple jars. Number 2, you hear us talk about this one on our page all the time, and I still think it's the best honeydew in the game. But number 2 last year was the Honeydew from Tri-County. And then number 3 was the Zwinkies from Kaya Extracts, another classic kind of dessert strain. It had some gas aspects to it, but it leaned more into these creamy Z notes. That was an amazing jar. So 2024, everything else list, the Rainbow Slushy, the Honeydew, and the Zwinkies. And now we're gonna take a dab with you guys, and then we will get into the 2025 everything else list. Cheers. We were gonna do this live. We got busy with life, and editing and producing all this stuff takes time, so we couldn't do it. But we already did the Gas and Kush top 10. We're about to go over the everything else top 10, and then of course we have the awards. Those you can watch when you're done with this video. All right. 2025 everything else top 10 list. This is going to be everything that's not mainly gas or Kush. You might still find some gaseous stuff in here, but not predominantly gaseous. All right, at number 10 on the everything else list, we have the Blood Diamond from Resin Culture. Now, a classic case with this one, like many on this list, it is gonna have some gassy aspects, but we really love the candy aspect of this one. It reminded us of one of our favorites from a few years ago from Kaya called the Sugar Rails. A really, candy, gas, some gummy, but really leaning into that actual sugar turf. So number 10, Blood Diamond from Resin Culture. Speaking of Kaya Extracts, at number 9, we had their Zuper Zmash Bros. This was actually a lot of people's favorites from that drop. Really nice jar. This was Kaya with Resin Reserve collab. It was the it was either OGZ or OGK with Resin's Rayberries, which was one of my favorites from a few years ago. So a lot of favorites here. At number 9, we had the Zuper Smash Bros from Kaya and Resin. At number 8, if you watched the last video, you saw them take 2 huge spots in the top 4. We have once again from Rising Trichomes at the number 8 spot on the everything else list. We have the RS11, which was a collab with Medicinal Cloud. And RS11 is one of our favorite strains. Hasn't been around, or at least around us, in a while. But being one of our favorites, we're very critical. And this RS11 not only was amazing, but it really surprised us with how good it was. So that jar I ended up throwing on the list because it really just stuck in my head. Number 8 was the RS11 Rising Trichomes. Going to Michigan for the first time on the everything else list, you have the Purple Pez from Rootz. Once again, I don't have my full notes on me because most of my notes are on my phone. I forget the exact cross on this one, or he did tell me. This jar, not necessarily exactly my type of terp, but it was so loud and so mouth coating, mouth staining, loud on dab, loud on nose. The Purple Pez from Rootz, it's hard not to put it on there. It tasted like straight purple berries. Reminded me of like a really good, amazing grape pies that I've had. That was number 7. Staying in Michigan, number 6, we had a lot of Arizona locals' favorite, the Baked Taters. We finally got our hands on a jar from Baked Taters that we could not get enough of, the Limez. The Limez jar from Baked Taters. Again, if you don't know, we're a huge lime terp fan. It's what we go for. If you can nail it, it's gonna be a top 10er. It's gonna be something really amazing to me. Baked Taters have always been solid, but this has been my favorite jar I've ever come across from them, and a real stunner of a jar. The Limez from Baked Taters, more Michigan. Now, returning, I think a common theme this year, and something that if you didn't know me, I've been calling for behind the scenes, but more blueberry terps, you should hear me have said. Number 5, we have the Blueberry Lemoncane from Tri-County. This is another jar, like a lot of the jars on the top 10, just super loud, mouth staining. Even if it's not necessarily my terp, you have to respect it for how mouth coating and loud the terps are on these jars. So, Blueberry Lemoncane from Tri-County stole the number 5 spot for me. Another jar that's not necessarily right up my alley, but I just can't not have it that high. Keeping with the blue tradition here, number 4 arguably could have been put on the gas list. I put it on the everything else list. We had the blue Stuntz from SoCal Dank. Once again, I want to say this is like a blue Zushi renamed, or something. Man, I can't remember, but I just remember this jar being super like blue Z. Yeah, like blue Skittles. Super loud, gassy. Couldn't put the cherry on because we've already had it on the top 10 before from them. Damn it, I can't remember their other jar that we love. But sticking to what's here, Blue Stuntz from SoCal Dank. Once again, they end up in a top 10 list from us with amazingly loud terps, and we love the blue terps. More Michigan. Once we get into the top 3, the number 3, everything else, we had the Crunch Berries from Spin Melts. Crunch Berries was one of the it strains this year. Michigan, always ahead of the game. I swear to God, they be doing stuff before everyone else. But specifically, Spin, one of our favorite companies of this year. That jar was amazing, and I do think it was the best Crunch Berry jar that we had, because we did have it from a few different Michigan companies, and we even had it from Cali. That was the Crunch Berry jar, Spin Melts. Staying in Michigan at the number 2 spot, you have a jar that you probably have heard me rave about at one point, and a lot of you were afraid to try. Some of you got brave and tried it because I raved about it, but if you were too afraid, I feel bad for you on this one. Number 2 spot for everything else, we have the Tamalez from SWOL. I'm gonna fuck the cross up again, but I do remember Chili Verde being in this strain. Chili Verde is one we've always read a lot about, and somehow had forgotten that key lime pie is in it. So once we had the chance to try it in the Tamalez from SWOL, it delivered. It delivered the same way the Red Hots off the gas list delivered from our anticipation. The Tamalez was amazing, and like I said, I feel like a lot of people slept on it because the name, Tamalez, isn't the greatest name, but man, what a strain. Again, classic me. If they nail the lime terps, I love them. Not all lime terps, but there's certain lime terps, classically the key lime pie for me. I love me some good lime terps. The Tamalez at number 2 from SWOL. If you get another chance, definitely try that one. The number 1, this one's been around, but if your boy just didn't know about it, but apparently a bunch of people didn't know about it, because after my review, I've been seeing it more and more around. I've been seeing more people just like myself find out about this one. But our number 1 everything else jar of the year comes from a random spot that you wouldn't have guessed, but it's the Blueberry Muffin from Rosin. Yes, this is a jar that we didn't happen to know about, but I guess it's been a well-known jar. I don't know for how long, but people told me that it's not new. But it was new to me. And Rosin was new to me this year. We got to try a couple different jars of his this year, and it was a new company on our radar, and it was awesome to get to try it. Delivered. A lot of solid jars from Rosin, but the one that was the banger, the all-timer from him, was this one, and it stole the number 1 spot because what have we been saying for years? Bring back true, not fake, but some true blueberry terps. And though this one's called Blueberry Muffin, it tastes like blueberry fucking candy, blueberry with some gas. It really has a crazy, just some of the most blueberry I've had. There were some other blueberry strains on there and some blue strains, but the Blueberry Muffin truly has a blueberry dominant flavor, and that's crazy. So, having said that, say goodbye to the cat, say goodbye to me. Make sure you watch the top 10 gas if you haven't, and then make sure you watch the awards, which is coming next. We out.